This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Every wine tells a story. Each growing season, it's our goal to create an artisan Napa Valley wine of exceptional quality. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.
700 plus acres. 250 right now. We've pulled some blocks out, so we're down to about 220 right now. The first vineyards were planted here in 72. And so the original owners retained historical name Balverne as one of our labels, and the property was known as Balverne Vineyards back in the 70s, and they were growing Alsatian whites. Well, there was some construction going on around the property, and then we had then something caught fire in the evening, and at 9 o'clock I got a call, get to the winery, the tasting room's on fire. And unfortunately that building also houses all my barrels and all our case goods. So we have smoke damage or smoke residue throughout the entire building. And so we're now in cleanup mode and trying to identify what's good and what's bad. And it's a process, and we're going to make sure the science is right, and we're going to confirm or deny what the status of everything is. So it's a pretty elaborate process. We do roughly 4,000 to 6,000, and we're expanding, and so that's part of the plan, ultimate plan to any property like this where, we were probably producing 700 tons and I'm bringing in only 150 to the winery. So if any grapes that don't get sold need a home, so then we develop a third tier or, a different label to put all the grapes that don't get sold. And so the intention is to get everything sold, and the more wine we make, the more control I have over the vineyards. I guess I define that as I caught the fermentation bug as a home brewer in the 90s. In college, we made beer, and then I went to Fresno State. Go Bulldogs. It was the genesis of the home brewing craze, and I really got into it. And I was an analytical chemist at the time, so it was all good, and it was a good hobby. And then I decided, well, I need to get out of Fresno. As much as I liked it, my experience there, I'm from the Bay Area, so I need to get back. And so I'd been exposed to the wine program. My chemistry professor in grad school was one of the top enologists in the program, and so I even did my senior project on wine-related subject without having any interest in wine. And so I went back to the enology program and consciously did a lateral transfer and became enologist at Golden State Vintners and making Christian Brothers brandy at the old Chateau LaSalle. It was a good way to transition into the business. I was in my 40s then, so it was, definitely a career turn. So I spent 3 vintages with Golden State in Fresno, and then I wanted to just get back to the Bay Area, and so I took an internship with Paul Hobbs and did a harvest with Paul Hobbs. I actually opened up his forest fill facility, and I was the lab guy, and I set up the lab, purchased it, certified it, did all that, and then was pretty much running the crush pad at the time and just working harvest. Then I got a job in February of '04 with Dry Creek Vineyard. And I spent the next 7-8 years with Dry Creek Vineyard and making a lot of Zin, Sauv Blanc, and Bordeaux varieties.